my phone fell. Why am I always on here crying? I think I avoided coming on here for a while because I'm like, oh, I don't want to get on and cry. But then it's like, it gets so messed up where it's like, all I can do is cry. God damn it. Hi, Dark Assassin. Fuck. Did someone die? My relationship with my family, I guess. It's a long story. It's like, I should just get in therapy and talk about it there, but it's like I have, and I should be out having fun. I should be with my kid right now. But there's a lot of systems and people working against me with that right now because of their judgment of me and the person that I am. And I don't feel like it's fair. And a lot of it's based off fucking lies. And it's just like I need to get to work, right? To make money for a lawyer. But then it's like my work is so contingent upon how I'm feeling. And when they're just pointing all of the blame at me and ignoring everything that they've done to hurt me or my kiddo, it's really hard to like not feel like, or to feel like calm, collected, and like everything is great and I'm just dancing and everything's fun, because it's so deeply wrong. I have a kid, yes, I have a kid. I haven't gotten to see him very much in the last 5 years because my dad kicked me out in the middle of the fucking pandemic because I wanted to see my friends in a safe way, because being in his home where he was telling me that the end of times was coming and that he was relieved because he had a dream that my son would die before the age of 4 years old and his soul would be raptured and innocent and make it into the kingdom of heaven. And he was happy about that. And it was just like a deeply not nourishing, harmful, toxic environment that I was trying to like reach out and have like other resources in. And my grandmother passed away, and so in the middle of 2020 he kicks me out, giving me 5 days to remove all of my belongings or he's gonna throw them away. And I had just lost my license because of no proof of insurance. And so I asked my mom, like, hey, can I come back, and get my kiddo? And she wouldn't give me a straight answer, and I've been trying to communicate with them over the years to create a plan. I've signed forms so they can sign for his medical thing and for his schooling, but I've gotten houses and I've been like, look, I have this beautiful place for him, and it's just still not good enough. And it's never been good enough, and it never will be good enough. And so I had full legal custody, but I was trying to work with them to do it the right way based off of their terms. And then they waited until they could go behind my back when I wasn't there to move to take custody from me. And there's been like numerous accounts of abuse at their house, and they're just the house that I grew up in. Like, they were adult foster care providers, so they were like trying to keep everything like good for the perception of the system. But then behind the scenes, it was hell. It was fucking hell. And the shit that I went through wasn't okay. And now that I remember it, and I'm like, hey, yeah, that wasn't okay. You're not gonna do that to my kiddo, right? Then I'm scapegoated, and it's like, oh, what are all these new memories you're having? You were never spanked. You were never hurt as a kid. And that's just bullshit. And I'm just poked at, like, look, you're unstable. Look, there's something wrong with you. But it's like the thing, I'm doing more than anybody in my family is to try and actually address the things that have gone wrong. I'm okay. I am okay. I'm gonna be okay. Calm down. Thanks. Thanks. It's not like I haven't been told that before. I understand. Don't put a face. This is not healthy. Oh, none of this is. None of this is. And it's like I'm writing up all this stuff for the court. And it's like none of this is okay. And I try and call and just talk with my kiddo or my mom, and it's not possible, and they've been pushing me out and not allowing me to be there with him. And they just like twist the story and make it sound like I have this expectation to live with them when they've invited me numerous times, like, oh yeah, you can be here, you can get on your feet, you can like be stable here. And then they pull the rug beneath my feet anytime I relied on them in the slightest, and then they just poke at me and they're like, look how unstable you are. But it's like, okay, well, I got kicked out at 13, at 17, and several times as an adult when you told me like, hey, if anything goes wrong, you have a place here with us. And that just never was true. Meth. Must be tired. I just woke up and I just like I'm emotionally and spiritually tired. Like I'm well rested, but it's like it's just so defeating that it's like I do all of these things to show them that I'm good and they're not good themselves. It's just so not fair. But it is what it is, because I just have to like show the system I have my shit together, but they're using things against me, like my interest in psychedelics, to try and paint me as this evil, unstable person. But it's just so painful because they've done psychedelics, they've had problems with alcohol or cocaine, and it's not fair. And it's like I have to dredge up all of this shit and litigate all of this trauma that I have, and it's like it shouldn't be like that. I wish I could just like transfer the memories to the court system, because it's like so fucked up that that happened to begin with, and they're telling me that it didn't happen when I remember that it happened. And that's the reason that I like as a child started self-harming or whatever, is because I was just constantly screamed at and my belongings destroyed, and it's just fucked. It's just fucked. You can't rely on anybody when you're an adult. You're supposed to rely on yourself, and all this crying isn't going to get anything done. I am aware. I am aware. But the thing is, I have been getting things done every day. I'm taking care of them and everyone around me. And I've been getting things done. And it's very rarely that I allow myself to just like feel what I'm feeling and process through it, because it is so fucking hard to deal with a situation like this, and it's not fair and it's not right, and all of the things they're saying are such fucking bullshit. So yeah, I get things done, right? I get things done all the time. I'm one of the most hardest working people I know. I fucking worked in their foster care home when I was a small fucking child, making meals for their adult foster care clients. It's so fucking bullshit. Just keep working harder, working harder, working harder, while other people stab you in the back and smile and wave like it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. I will be okay, but the way I'm being treated right now is not okay. should do something to take it off your mind. That is what I've been trying to do for the last years. When they'll tell me, like, oh, you're not good enough, like, that this isn't good enough or whatever, you just have to wait. You just have to wait for his autism testing. Oh, you just have to wait for this summer. Oh, you have to wait until the summer school program's over. Oh, well, now it's not safe. You're not a safe person. And so I've done things to take my mind off of it. I go to dances, I create art, I do so many things. And I've taken my mind off of it, but then it's like, because I took my mind off of it for a while and I didn't just go there and rip my kid out of their home, that they're using it to fucking backstab me. So like the aspect of like, just do something to take your mind off of it. Like, why do you guys think I don't play video games anymore? Like, I can't just play a video game and not think about this. I can't just do that. I can't. It's not right. It's like, I know the trauma I have is not right. And I know that the way that they're pushing me out, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on there. I know some of it, which is not okay. Which is not okay. And it never was okay. You need therapy. I really think you're not in a good mental state. I'm the only person in my family that has been in therapy. And it is so messed up that, like, I'm continuously just like, oh, you need therapy, you need to fix yourself. And then I get in therapy. And then within the therapy, I am like deconstructing these family dynamics that have traumatized me, leading me to need therapy. And it's like, I do that. And then it's like, I'm still just poked out like, you're the problem. That's so insane. It's so insane. You're going to the Chinese buffet booty club when you get off work. Congratulations, Shuckin. I hope you have an amazing time. Stop cussing, kids watch this. Bro, why are kids watching this? I mean, regardless, like, the shit I heard growing up, man. The cuss words I heard. I was told I was gonna be a prostitute since before I knew what sex was. So, like, oh no, the kids. It's fucking insane. You are worthy. I hope God helps you. I pray for you, and there's a way I hope you feel okay. Thank you. I appreciate you, Eliana. I can do what I want. And it's like, I don't want to just sit here and be like crying or whatever. I didn't want to talk about this. I wanted to do it the right way. But then it's like, no, they're not doing it the right way. They're like straight up lying. And they're using the things I say online against me, like me being open-minded about things like psychedelics or plant medicine. And it's so disgusting because the only way I was able to conceptualize, oh, like the way that I was abused was because my father was abused or my mother. And so I had developed empathy for that in a way that I could never conceptualize due to things like psychedelics. So the irony of how they're using it against me is insane. Is insane. I will get through this. Thank you. I just needed to like let it out for a second because it's like, if you're just gonna tell me how horrible I am, I'm like restricting myself from expressing and being a person because I'm just indoctrinated with this mindset that I'm bad, that I deserve bad things. And it's not right. It's not right to raise a kid like that. Don't think of it as you're the problem. Think of it as you know the solution. You just have to find it. That's true. A lot of things are simple, not easy, but simple, yeah. But it's just, complex post-traumatic stress disorder is not simple. And that's what I have. And it's hard when, like, you realize that about yourself, and I, like, try and share that with my family, and I try and share all of these resources, like, hey, I got diagnosed with this thing. and here's all of like the coping mechanisms I've learned, here's all the resources. I think you guys might also have this complex post-traumatic stress disorder because of the way that they would engage and interact and what led to the development of it for me. I know that the things that are happening within them, it's not always like them being malicious. Sometimes they're themselves traumatized. So as I'm trying to share these resources and this insight, it's just viewed as, from my dad's mouth, witchcraft. This is witchcraft. And I'm just, the irony of that is this means so much. Like, it means like the union of the masculine and feminine, which for the longest time I had such a trauma with masculinity because of what I just described, like being screamed at since before I knew what sex was, about how I was going to be a prostitute. Having my phone calls listened in on when I would be telling a friend I love them, and then I would have someone come out into my room and scream at me and chain smoke cigarettes in front of me while they told me how just bad of a person I was when I was a 12-year-old girl. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. Yo, sister, why are you crying? She's deaf. I'm crying because life is hard, and I will get through this, but I just needed to fucking vent about it because it's just like, not fucking right. It's not right. Sorry, I'm inconsistent and I'm not like the person people want me to be, but it's like, I am not being given those tools by my family. If anything, like, complete strangers have given me more empathy and love and support than the people who are supposed to do that by blood, you know? I'm okay though. I'm gonna be okay. I'm just currently right now, like, I just tried to call it, because like in the affidavit they're saying that I don't call enough, that I don't do this enough or do that enough, but it's like I have records of like all the times I've been ignored, and I just tried to call and I just got hung up on. And it's just like, just lies being told, and it's like, okay, now like I gather evidence and I debunk what I can, but it's like most of it's like he said, she said, but just the fact that they know that they're lying to make it look a certain way is so messed up, because they know they're lying. PTSD is a nightmare. Xanax might help this phase. No, here's the thing though, like, because I've been on a bunch of different pharmaceutical medication. That is why I lean towards like natural options and plant medicine, is because when I was a teenager, like, I was just screamed at and told that I was the problem. I needed to medicate myself, and then everybody else would be better off if I was medicated. And so I took the medication, and I had a very serious suicide attempt at 15 because I was taking the medication, but I was still being abused by other people. So it only does so much, right? Like, I've been on it. I get that. So I hear that recommendation a lot. And I get that for some people it's in good faith, because sometimes it does help people. But there's a reason I talk about the things that I talk about, because it doesn't help me. It never did. And I know that there's like pharmaceutical medications that are amazing out there that can save lives. But for my psychiatric medication and for my mental health, I actually, at, the cafe, met with a guy who does, he's a psychiatrist, and he just moved from the East Coast to Colorado to help people, because he doesn't think that SSRIs and all that are all that they're cracked up to be. So it's just, I'm not the most educated. There's always like room to grow, but I am one of the most educated people in my vicinity, in my like blood, right, about things like this. And because I'm like educating myself more and sharing that education because of their viewpoint of it, that it's like I'm just a crazy drug addict. And it's just so harmful and detrimental to so many people to not be open-minded two alternatives to pharmaceutical medication because that's fucking people up so much. Like, I know somebody who was on Xanax and they fucking hadn't slept for days. They were also on, like, some kind of bipolar medication, but they were just losing their shit and it wasn't helping anymore, you know? I know so many people who had addictions due to Xanax or would take a bunch of Xanax and wake up in a car that wasn't theirs with no recollection of how they got there. If you're so smart, why did you leave your kid? I got kicked out with 5 days to leave. And I was having CPS threatened because I am interested in plant medicine. And I didn't have my license because it was revoked. And I was at my parents' to catch up on things because they invited me there to catch up and to get my shit together. But then when there was a disagreement, they said, get the fuck out, you have 5 days to leave. And so I got the fuck out and I said, hey, I'm coming back. And since I've been trying to make that happen, like to get my kiddo, they've fought me at every single turn. They've said, well, you are interested in cannabis, or you, have all of these issues. But it's like, they have the same issues, if not worse. The difference is my dad is a property owner. And at the time, he was a foster care provider and a mandated reporter. So he has, in my entire life, used the system as a means to scare me and control me. And it's not ever been fair. It's not ever been right. He threatened to kill his fucking foster care client during the pandemic because he said I was putting them at risk. So he's like, oh, should I go kill him right now then? It's like, no, that's not okay. And anything I was doing was completely safe. I just couldn't be in a house with my dad 24/7 where he was just obsessed with the end of times and telling me how great it would be if my son died before the age of 4. And I should not have left my kid there, but I knew that if I would have taken my kid at that time, with the things he was saying and my license being temporarily suspended, that he would have called CPS. That he would have gotten my kid put in the system, if not with him. So it's like, I did the best that I could with what I had, and I kept trying to show them, like, hey, look at this big house that I got, like, look at this job that I have, look at all this stability. It's not good enough. Never was. They're like, oh, okay, well, he might be autistic, so you have to wait until you can get him back until, he goes through this autism testing. And so I waited, and then the testing kept getting delayed, and then it's like, okay, he's autistic. He's diagnosed. I'm like, okay, and for the same reasons he was diagnosed, I'm like, oh shit, like, I also experienced that. I experienced that when I was a kid, which is what led to, unfortunately, me self-harming as a kid, is that deep feeling of being misunderstood and being overstimulated and not knowing how to process your emotions and not having a safe place to do so. It's not right. It's not right. And I get that people are gonna try and poke holes in my logic and show me how it is right, or like what's wrong with me, but you don't know my family. My dad does a little live stream on Facebook where he talks about the end of times and how we all need to repent or we'll burn in the fires of hell. He goes to comment on my post to dox me, to like make me feel fear of him. You don't know my family. I get that like I'm a mess to you guys, but it's not right, man. How am I feeling? Honestly, I'm feeling slightly better after getting through like the brunt of it, because like I haven't talked about this because it's like I'm just trying to do the right things and just show them like, look, I'm stable, look, everything's good. But then it's like when I'm at my best, they still dissect that and try and use things against me. And it's just not, it's not fucking right. And I'm getting together my witnesses and everything, but it's not fucking right. And if they're like going to, in the affidavit, say like, well, look, you talk about psychedelics or plant medicine online. Okay, but why do I talk about those things? Because when I was being abused as a child, pharmaceutical medication like SSRIs, Wellbutrin, Trazodone were heavily pressured onto me that I need that to be normal and to be okay. And then when I was on it, or when I was in the therapy appointment with my parents, they would just my dad would just scream about how bad of a kid I was, no matter what I did, even when I was on the medication. And then when I was on the medication, I would describe to them, like, hey, I'm having like depersonalization. I'm feeling really not connected with my body, really not okay. And then right before my suicide attempt, the fucking psychiatrist listens to me saying that and ups my dose. And then it's a couple days later, there's like a cataclysmic event. And I just decide it's not, like, I'm so disconnected and I'm so disassociated. That's like the most serious suicide attempt I've ever had. And in the affidavit, they're saying, you know, about me being suicidal. And I just think of my friends that have committed suicide. And why? And no one's listening to the why. And they're just like, oh, you know, like, that's unstable. Like, oh, or I don't want to be around them because they're a mess. But it's like, why? Why do so many people feel like that? What is going wrong? Because I can think of several occasions where it was like, yeah, someone was prescribed a bunch of SSRIs and it was marketed to them as like a cure-all treatment. And then it's like, it's not. It's not. I appreciate you, Damon. And honestly, like, I'm sure there's other people that relate to this. And I know that I have to be calm and collected, but it's like, there's so much demonization over when people get emotional, because they'll just be like, oh, well, you know, you're just emotional. You're just, like, not seeing this clearly. I've taken so many steps back to see this as clearly and as logically as possible. And when I get to the logic of it, it's logically not good. It's fucked up. It's logically, emotionally, spiritually, all fucked up. And it's like, I can write all of this stuff up, get the witnesses. I hope I win the case. I feel like I don't even want to say if I am not going to or I am going to, but just like, regardless, this is messed the fuck up. This is messed up. Fucking grab my son's bike and beat my brother over the head with it, making my brother's head bleed when I was not there. So, and they want to say, you know, that it's the better place for him there. He kicked my mom and my brother and my son out of the house while he was drunk, accusing my mom of cheating on her, or cheating on him. Like, it's not a safe place there. It's not a fucking safe place there. And the shit they're saying about me is lies, and they're using me being interested in plant medicine that has helped me have empathy for the fucked up shit that has happened to me and like the people who caused it. And then that's the problem. The thing that I have found that has helped me is the problem. That is why I live where I live. It's not like I'm just like, oh, trying to go somewhere I can do hard drugs. I don't do any substance on a daily basis. I don't do psilocybin or any kind of plant medicine, like even weekly or anything like that. Like, I've just done it in the past, and the conclusions that I was able to come to in the past about it and the potential that I see it has is so incredibly important to me. Coming from people who like abuse cocaine or alcohol in my upbringing, or chain smoke cigarettes in front of me, it's just insulting. It's insulting, and it's not right. And so it's like, I'm kind of venting right now to express what I've been going through, but it's also like, I think of like all the other moms in this situation where it's like, they're just trying to do what is best for their body and their children, and they're just demonized. And I get there's some circumstances, yeah, where it's like irresponsible use, like, you know, but it's not. And it's nothing like that. And it never has been anything like that. For God's sake, I smoked DMT with my dad. Willingly. Not like I pressured him or anything like that. And he sat there, and before he did it, he was complaining about my grandma and this and that, and she's so evil, and my brother Chad, who's fucking addicted to drugs and now is in a state facility, is so bad, and his ex-wife is so bad, and everyone's so bad, fuck them. He was just going off about it. And then the moment he does it, he stops. And he takes a breath, and he looks around and he smiles. And I was like, how are you feeling, Dad? And he's smiling and he says, connected. And you know, like, it's like, I will remember that for the rest of my life. I will remember that. Even when he's screaming at me that I'm a witch or whatever, I will remember that the plant medicine that they're saying is so terrible, for a second, took him out of the state where he was shitting on everyone else, and he actually felt connected to the world. And that was the thing for me. Like, when I was on the SSRIs, I felt so detached, so disconnected, that I didn't feel like a part of this world. I didn't want to be here anymore. That I was able to actually make the very serious step to try and take myself out at 15. But then at 18, when I found psilocybin for the first time, I was like, whoa, you know, like, it opened my mind to, like, whoa, no, life is actually beautiful. I'm not at my rock bottom, I'm just getting started, you know? So it's just so sad to me that there's so much healing potential out there that people are just so willing to, especially people who say that, you know, the government is Babylon, and, you know, like, that the system is corrupt, that God is the true system. It's like, to somebody like that, it's like you would think that those experiences of connectedness and belonging in this world would be more important than you utilizing an archaic system to harm your daughter and your grandchild. I, like, try and call my kiddo earlier, and he's, like, getting off his summer school program, and my mom's, like, telling him he wants to, that I'm calling to video chat, and he's, like, going into his room to like, take space and, like, decompress, because he has his own room, and he's, like, taking privacy there. And it's just, I can't parent through a video call, and I also can't be on his property because I'm a witch. And so I have to spend a lot of money to go up and get an Airbnb or a hotel anytime I want to see my kid. And I've offered them, like, no, you come here. Like, I've had, like, 3-story houses with guest bedrooms, and I'm like, yeah, you come here. Like, I have plenty of room. I'll pay for your travel. And they say he can't travel because of his autism. But then when I'm up there with him and I'm traveling with him, no issues. No issues traveling. Having a great time. He even said, you know, I want mama to stay last time. And it's like, I'm sorry, I can't stay here. They won't let me stay here, and I can't afford to keep getting Airbnbs or, like, go somewhere where I don't have a job and I don't have the support that I have here. And they just say that I'm living in places where I can chase using drugs. It's so far from the truth. I appreciate you, Jammin. Thank you. I love you. It's beyond me. Like, there's points where I feel so confident and empowered and ready to go and ready to tackle this, because it's like, I do want to make this bigger than myself, because this is not just about me. It's about anyone who's being treated like this right now, because the pharmaceutical systems and the healthcare systems, we have so much evidence that those are just crumbling and not working for so many people. It's like, why don't we explore alternatives? Why is plant medicine like a negative term that someone's gonna use to discredit someone? Why is herbalism witchcraft? Like, I just, pharmaceuticals in general. Like, my dad doesn't like the pharmacia, but they put me on pharmaceutical medication as a child. And so it's like, I've just continuously been scapegoated, like I'm the one with problems that needs to fix themselves. I find the herbs and the things that help me heal, and then I'm still scapegoated. I'm still treated as this, and I think it's because I call out when there's an unhealthy system. I'm like, hey, you spanking me as a kid, that better not fucking happen with my kid. That's not gonna happen with my kid. Because that fucked me up and it never taught me anything good. If you're gonna say, my kiddo's gonna grow up to be a sissy if he likes to play dress up. No, you're not gonna fucking say that to my kid. And I get that, like, people can get defensive or offended when you tell them, like, hey, I don't like it when you do that. But someone needs to. Like, boundary setting is something I was never taught as a child. As an adult, like, by them especially. I was told I was not allowed to have an opinion until I was 18, repeatedly. I had all of my belongings broken. Like, it's not the way you treat a kid. And so now that I've learned in my adulthood kind of the hard way about, like, boundary setting and communication with people, I thank all of my friends, even though, like, the ones that are no longer in my life, that I'm no longer in contact with, I'm grateful for all of those experiences where I learned the importance of boundaries or communication that I was not taught at home. And so the more I address it and I'm like, hey, let's not call my son a sissy if he wants to play dress up. Like, I have to be the one to, like, remind them of these things, and then they're telling me that I'm not fit to be his mother. I think because they're territorial and possessive of him, and it's not fair and it's not right. Yeah, I'm especially hoping as he gets older he can see, because he said himself at 7 years old, I don't want my mom to leave. Sorry. And like, in the fucking affidavit they say that when I left I didn't even say goodbye to him, which is just grossly a gross fucking lie. Because in front of his paternal grandmother, I asked the officer, like, hey, I get my dad doesn't want me here and you're here to just keep the peace. You don't know the law. You're not CPS. You can't really, like, make a decision. It's his property. And you're here to de-escalate in case there's like an escalation of violence. But can I go say goodbye to him? And so that should be on record that I was like, hey, can I go say goodbye? Because I went in, I hugged him, I looked him in the eyes, and I explained to him, like, I never left and I've been trying to get you back the whole time. And I love you, and I'm coming back. And I said that to him in front of her. I'm sure they heard it. And they have the audacity to write in the affidavit, I didn't even say goodbye. It's just so disgusting how they think it's okay to lie like that and to demonize me and push me out of his life. And I will, like, I hope when he's older he knows that, like, that's the shit my dad says about the end of times. He's been saying it since 2006. Any cataclysm, the pandemic, Trump getting elected, he thinks Donald Trump's gonna come and kill all the Christians and instill Sharia law, which doesn't even make sense. It's just delusion. And it's just not fair, and it's not right. Thank you. It might take time, but yeah, it's not right, and I know it's not right, and I'm gonna keep pushing forward. I'm not giving up. I just, like, hit a point where it's like, I can't even talk to my kid right now. And it's like, I have seen them help navigate his meltdowns, right? And I've been there for his meltdowns. The meltdowns didn't really start happening until after I left. After I was kicked out. And, when I was there for one of them, like, I was able to soothe him and help him pretty much immediately. And I was, like, offering, like, my mom was like, stop to him. I was like, no, let's just take a pause. Like, no, it's okay. Like, trying to, like, bring the energy of calm rather than the energy of apprehension. And I was able to help soothe him in his meltdown instantly. Versus, like, the way that my parents always handled my meltdowns was like, oh, she's having a hard time, she's anxious, let's scream at her. Let's scream in front of her. Let's break things. Let's show her who's boss, you know? And so I would have a worse meltdown. And so when I see that my dad is still very much the same, and it's like I think of how he, you know, doesn't want to engage when he's overstimulated at all. It's like I think of myself, and it's like, yeah, I'm very much autistic in very similar ways. And when I talk with his school and I attend meetings with his school, it's like the way he tries to compensate intellectually, and he's already at a 4th grade level, for the ways in which he's not able to socialize or have like that emotional intelligence, like, so he's compensating intellectually. I deeply relate with that. And it's not fair because I know that I am much more better equipped to help with socializing and emotional intelligence than the person who stunted mine. Because telling a child you don't have an opinion until you're 18, screaming at them for saying I love you to someone, it's abuse. It's fucked up. It's not the way you raise an emotionally intelligent human being. Hi, Zaryok. Hi, how are you? Thank you, I appreciate it, Ira. I'm almost done crying about this. I need to get some shit done. But I just, like... It's messed up. It's messed up, and I need a lot of money, I guess, to fight this case, because the lawyer that I found that's Colorado, and Minnesota charges $400 an hour. So I'm getting ready to post a GoFundMe for it. Because I think I make too much for pro bono, which is the messed up part. My parents combined make about $1,300 a month. So there are people around me, and my fear is that they're doing this to try and secure financial stability with, like, me paying child support. I have provided, like, supplies and funds to them, and I make, on a bad month, $2,000 a month. On a good month, I can make $10,000 a month. But the thing is about my good months are when I am able to stream and not just start crying randomly. But I've just kind of accepted throughout this process, I might just get a thought and just, like, remember what's happening. I might just start crying. So if you guys are seeing this and, like, I'm getting back into my routine with streaming and everything, and you see me randomly crying, this is why. This is why. And it's not right. And it's not fair. I'm so sorry, Jamin. I'm sending so much love to you. I'm okay, Summer. Yeah, I might leave this VOD up for a bit. I might take it down later, I don't know. But if you guys want more of an explanation, you can go back in the VOD. I've been going through this for the last 5 years. And before that, it was like the separation with my kiddo's dad. Just the trauma that everyone involved in this situation has been a lot. And I'm really tired of being the scapegoat for other people's shit. I'm really tired of it because I know how well I'm doing. I hear the feedback I get from other people positively. And it's like there are people that see the good in me, and there is good in me. And I'm really tired of people who hear me say plant medicine and then they're like, burn the witch, you know? I'm really, really tired of that. And I'm working on, you know, more logically constructing evidence and my thoughts, one, for this court case, but for two, I want to make a few different video essays about the war on drugs and drug criminalization and plant medicine. As well as talking about just, like, the way that we treat parents and families and family dynamics, and it's just not right. It's just not right. And it's like I'm treated like I just need to get infinite amounts of therapy and heal myself. But I had a boundary that if my son was going to be there at all in late 2022, after my dad had kicked my son and my mom and my brother out on the streets and threatened to kill their dog because the dog was already dying, and he was drunk calling me about how she had an unhealthy attachment to my son and I needed to go get my son now. I tried to communicate with her to plan to go get my son. She ghosted me. She ignored me. And then after everything just got swept under the rug, after everything was swept under the rug, I tell them, like, hey, I support things getting better, but if my son is going to be there at all, he needs to be in therapy. Because he's the one kicking people out. Kicked me out, kicked my sister out, kicked my brother out. He just, that's his trauma response. Like, oh, okay, this is my house. I worked hard for this. I think you're disrespecting me in the slightest. You need to get the fuck out. Even though it's like everyone contributing to the household. Like the reason he would get paid for foster care is because my mom would take care of the clients and I would help take care of the clients and I would cook meals and I would be an active part of that system. But then because his name's on the dotted line, he would just fucking fuck everyone's life up in like the flip of a fucking hat. Like he just doesn't have any regard for like what his actions do to other people, and he just justifies it with his religion, like, oh well, we're all gonna burn in the fires of hell anyways if we don't repent, so I'm saving you guys by telling you to repent. It's insane. Oh man, but everything will be okay. I will figure it out. Hi Melma, I love you. I love you so much. Thank you for your kindness. Hi Kellogg, I love you. Thank you for your kindness. And like honestly, it's like silly to say it, but like the internet and the support that I've gotten from people online has helped me so much with like actualizing myself and knowing that I'm not just like a demonic witch because I'm interested in these things. Maybe I'm not always right, but I sure as fuck am more teachable when people are treating me with empathy rather than treating me like the spawn of Satan. If you go to court and need a character witness, I'm here. Thank you, Zerok. I honestly might. And last night I was listening to one of my teachers from school. I got kicked out when I was 17 and I had to leave. I had nowhere to go. And so luckily, I was able to still graduate from high school because one of my teachers helped me get everything together and get on track with it, because I wasn't on track to graduate until like a couple of years later because I was so behind due to all the stress going on. So he gave me like a little video of him saying, you know, like, so sweet, that I'm like one of the brightest kids he's had, and that I was like a very important part of like the community, you know? I loved my friends, I loved school, I loved life. What really made me like struggle was the constant instability and the constant being told how evil I am at my core just for existing. I would be in my room playing video games at 17 before I got kicked out, and like I'd done my homework, whatever, be playing video games, and then my dad would, without knocking, come in my room and tell me and your mother are getting a divorce and it's your fault. But way before my kid existed, you know? A leader is only a leader when leading all correctly. Yeah. I'm definitely not in the position to lead right now. But I, like, kind of need to be, you know what I mean? I kind of have to step up to that plate because I'm in this position where it's like I see that the things that are happening are, like, morally incorrect. So I have to kind of step up to this position where it's like, yeah, like, when you're abused as a child, that leads to so many fucking things. And it's not the correct choice to just keep kicking people out or keep pushing people away. And so I am kind of like stepping up to like lead. And back when I was a teenager, like I wasn't like that wasn't my mindset. I'm not like, oh, I want to be a leader. I want to, you know, I want to lead people. I want to, you know, that wasn't how I was thinking. It just kind of naturally like I have this information, I need to share this information, or like I see that this could be better if we like direct this way, you know? But obviously like being anybody who's in a leadership position, or like I think ideally people who are being trained to be a leader, they're not going to be told from a young age your opinion doesn't matter till you're 18. You're going to be nourished as a child. This is how I plan to raise my child, that your opinion does matter. Maybe there's some things you're leaving out or not aware of that could better like structure you having these beliefs or having these systems, but not that like you're gonna, you know, not to put you down. Like if anything, like if you nourish a kid from a young age, they're and their soul and their curiosity, they're probably going to be a much better leader than if you suppress that, you know? Thank you, Chilios. I love you. Thank you. Sounds like your mom's response is to have a moment of clarity, then just go back to the status quo. Well, the thing is, my mom is 15 years younger than him. And so my mom has at certain points defended me or protected me briefly. Whenever that has happened, my mom will stand up to him in some form and then he will say, I'm leaving. Or I guess when I was gone, it was him kicking her out. It's some variation of like anytime she has a boundary or she has a stern disagreement with the way that he is acting, his response is to leave or to kick people out. So there were brief moments where my mom would actually like be on my side. Not that I wanted there to be sides picked, but that it's like, I'm your kid, like I'm your child, and the way that your husband is treating me is not right. And so she would briefly do that, but then when it comes down to it, his name is on everything. So if she even wanted to, she doesn't, you know, she has had health issues. I think she's so deep into it that, you know, like she had a kid with another person before I was born. And then she's been with my dad, you know, the entire time I've been alive. And they even, you know, they lied to my brother most of his life, telling him that my dad was their biological dad. And so it's just, I think she's deeply codependent, and you know, that's fine. And if they want to like work it out and be together, that's fine. But the issue I have is like, if I very much have different morals when it comes to this. And this is something when I would witness their toxicity growing up, I would always tell myself, I am never bringing a kid into that. And I have stood by that. Like, I don't want my kid around fighting. I don't want my kid around people who are blaming each other for things constantly. Sure, conflict happens, but I'm not gonna allow what my mom allows, that's for sure. Sound has gone. Is the sound gone for everyone covering the mic? Oh shit. If you're not a leader, what are you? Yeah. 9 billion people can't all be the best. Hi, John. Majority of us require assistance to live. Once others realize this, we can move forward in society. Right! And that's like the thing that's frustrating about this is like they're just pointing at me saying, you're unstable, there's something wrong with you, but they went out of their way to make me unstable, to show me that I have to learn the hard way like my dad did. But it's like the hard way my dad did, like leaving home at 17 and being abused as a child, I don't think that's like a pattern I want to repeat with my kid. And that ideology of like, oh well, I had it hard, so should you, I think is so toxic. It's like, yeah, there's like certain situations where you need to struggle or a little bit of hardship to learn how to do things, but it's just not in that way, not in such an extreme way, not making your kids homeless, not taking your grandkids away from your kids. That's not right in my eyes. The lies are a tough part to get past. Time heals a ton, but most of us can't afford that these days. Yeah. Man. I've never done meth in my life, by the way. Someone said meth earlier. I've never done meth. I've never done heroin. I've never done pills recreationally. I was prescribed pharmaceuticals. Not a bad person. I'm really not. And it's like, I used to think, and I think it was like largely due to my upbringing, that if I were to love myself or advocate for myself, that was somehow like narcissistic or like a bad thing. Don't do meth ever. I'm not into meth. Unfortunately, my brother, one of my brothers, he has struggled with a meth addiction for over a decade. And I think he's in a state hospital now, and I hope he's okay. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but I've heard my dad talk a lot of shit about him. It sucks. His mom's not great either. Not my mom, but half-brother. That's the thing. I'm currently structuring my affidavit and gathering character witnesses, because what they're saying to the system is a lie. Some of it, like my interest in plant medicine, they're trying to make that sound as bad as possible. But like for me, it's like even things like lavender, catnip, fucking, like have so many benefits. It is plant medicine. I'm not just out here like dropping shrooms every day. Like, I don't know what they think. Like, based off of me expressing interest, like, I spent $200 in 2019 to attend the VIP version of the Minds Meet seminar with Gabor Mate, Dennis McKenna, and Joe Taffer. And it was about plant medicine and healing trauma. The irony that this is all stemming from my actions to take steps towards healing myself and my family dynamics, which have enabled trauma to occur, is insane. It's insane. Like, maybe I become a lawyer after this? Because I've been thinking, like, I don't know, they're shitting on me for my career, and no matter what that is, like if I choose plant medicine, streaming, art, photography, any of that stuff, they just want to shit on. So I'm just like, do I become a lawyer? Because they want to use the law against me? I don't know. I was watching this video of this former drug prosecutor who actually became a psychedelic lawyer. and that was super inspiring. Um, and yeah, my lawyer is gonna cost $400 an hour. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's like the best option I've found though. It's just messed up. You might get the help you need being or finding a good attorney. I found a good attorney, but yeah, $400 an hour. No, that's the thing. I've been communicating with them about what way this can be done for them to feel happy with it, like the entire time. Nothing has worked. So I wouldn't just like come here like if it was like if there was a path forward through communicating with them, I would talk to them. But unfortunately, that is not the case. My dad does need the therapy. That was my boundary in 2022 when he kicked my mother and my son and my brother out of the house. And then my mom was ignoring me when I was trying to go get my son. She was completely ghosting me. And so when I'm trying to do that, and then eventually she, makes contact with me, and everything's all fine and sunshine and rainbows because that's how the family dynamics would go when I was growing up, is like something really, really bad would happen and then brush it under the rug. Never happened. What are you talking about? What are these memories you're having? Like literal gaslighting. And so I'm like, okay, dad told me I need to go get Vaughn now. So, like I'm trying to do that, and they're like, well, no, everything's better, like it was a misunderstanding. They gave me no context. And so I tell them, he needs to be in therapy if he's going to be there even to visit. This is not okay, right? And so they led me on to thinking he was in therapy for a while. And it seemingly he never ever went. And they're surviving off like $1,300 a month. So I get that it's expensive, but I have spent money out of my pocket to get therapy because I don't qualify for the state insurance because I make too much. And I've spent money out of my pocket to be in therapy. And then, the recent visit is like my dad talking about how all the pharmakeia, he doesn't believe in it. It's all Satan and all of that shit. He refuses therapy. But yet in the affidavit, they're using my untreated mental health against me in the most ironic, hypocritical way. So I agree, he needs therapy. I would love for us all to sit in therapy and figure this shit out. And that's like my frustration is I was calling lawyers in the state where I'm at, and a lot of them were like, actually, sorry, we're more of the mediation route rather than the litigation route. And I was like, that's what I want. I want mediation. I don't want to have to litigate my entire life's worth of trauma to justify why I want my own fucking kid with me. It's either that they don't comprehend my perspective or understand, which is why I want to do a video essay on plant medicine, or that they are it's seemingly with what they said, they're intentionally lying. They are intentionally lying to make me look bad. Yeah, I'm about to post a GoFundMe, and then I'm going to focus on other things, and I'll have the GoFundMe there. I'm not going to be talking about this the whole time, but I am, preparing for it. But it's just like, they in the affidavit are using what I am saying online against me in terms of plant medicine. And I just think that is so wrong, because even if I were living in a state where things like psilocybin or whatever are criminalized, it is not illegal to talk about them. It is not illegal to have freedom of thought and freedom of speech. It's insane. It is insane to me. But yeah, I'm figuring it out. I just, Yeah, holistic medicines is more common sense than more people will catch on. Most people don't realize how much damage the pharmaceutical companies do. They themselves don't need medicine and don't know. Yeah, we all need God always. Yeah. Cassie's legal garden go around so learning how to defend yourself legally. That's hilarious. I love that idea. Oh man. I love that. That's actually, honestly, you guys are giving me so much more inspiration to stream because I've been kind of like pulling back because I'm like, I just want to get through this process and then I will do the thing again. But then it's like the process has been ongoing for years and they are fucking me as much as they can. I'm sorry, excuse my language. This stream is not meant for kids. I clicked not meant for kids on there. Someone earlier with the fucking Fortnite name came in and they were like, it was like, I'm sorry, but my dad has screamed at me that I'm like a fucking whore in front of my child. So he called my brother a faggot in front of my child. So, excuse my language. I'm not calling anyone these things. I'm just for transparency's sake. That's not okay. That's not okay. It's much more difficult online than off too. In what way? Yeah, Ryder's one of them, Kellogg. It's gonna be okay. Trying to make money on content, but you're creative, they usually find a way. See, that's the thing, like, I've had a bunch of different jobs, but like no other job gives me like the freedom and like the creative outlet that like this type of job does. So it's like I love this job. There's like some downsides to it, but there is any job, you know what I mean? And honestly, like this account is not like my bread and butter. But I'd like it to be. Like I would like to do stuff like that or sell herbs or sell candles, different things. And I am doing that too. It's like it's just not traditional. But neither is being an adult foster care provider. Like I make more being a content creator or whatever than my parents did being adult foster care providers. And it did not like lead to lasting stability for them. And the thing is with being a content creator is like once you pass a certain threshold, then it's like things continue to do well. But it's just, and I have a lot of success. I've done a lot for myself. But it's just like so many of the times where there would be issues, I'm like, okay, well, is it because I do what I do online? Is if I delete all of that, if I stop doing that, will they treat me better? No. No. It would just be the same as before. I started live streaming on Twitch. I started making videos on YouTube when I was 13 after my dad kicked me out of my home and I went to go live with my grandmother. That, as like a 13-year-old girl on the internet was rough, right? Because you don't know. You don't know all of the little things that people do or like how people can take advantage of you when you're fresh into it, and especially the internet was so new. Like I think now there's a lot more out there, and especially with my kiddo, I'm gonna like educate them like, hey, watch out for motherfuckers like this. Not that you can't use the internet at all, but like, hey, just awareness is key, I feel like. And I started live streaming at 17 when I was at my parents still on Twitch. And yeah, no, I mean, before they even knew I had a YouTube channel, they were treating me like trash. So they were telling me I wasn't gonna do anything with my life. I wasn't gonna amount to anything. And not nourishing my creativity or my growth at all. My dad would break my paintbrushes, destroy my room, destroy my Xbox. Like, he would scream at me for my anxiety. I'm like, Dad, I think you might have bipolar. Breaks my Xbox. Wow, okay. So it's like, I almost joined the military when I was 17, because it's like, if anything, like, if I join the military, then they'll be proud of me, right? Right? No. So I didn't end up going that route because I like weighed a little bit too much. I unfortunately had an eating disorder when I was a teenager from like 13 to 18 kind of. So it just didn't work out, but I was gonna be a linguist for the army. They still weren't like, and whatever, you know. It's all good. You still don't know where your images and videos have gone. Wait, what'd you say? Okay, wait, let me scroll up. Thank you, Ira, I appreciate it. Lying to keep paycheck your kid brings, maybe. That's what a lot of people in my life have said. My brother, they put him on disability right away, and they would take a portion of his check for his rent every month, so. Think of it like a tree. They all start as one leaf. Books start with one page. True. I have been writing a lot lately, so it's inspiring me a lot. Yeah, they are like most people with their beliefs, and they tend to be hypocrites because their standards are so high no one can meet them. Yeah. Yeah. Not even themselves. And it's like, I feel like they're that harsh on themselves even, and that's so hard to, you know. And I feel like in turn I've been kind of like a little bit harsh on like the standards I need for like friendships or people around me, because I'm trying to meet their standard for what's good enough for like my kiddo, and it's like that's just off the charts. Like, they don't even meet their own standards. Still don't know where your images and videos have gone. Nice king, love that. One step forward keeps you growing, one leaf, one page at a time. True. I agree with you guys. Our history stacks like a tree, grow from it, do better next time, etc. Most importantly, try something, keep swimming forward if you're able, stay strong. Thank you so much, King. You've had more luck telling him he was possessed than BPD. He might have been taking it seriously. Yeah. I mean, I offered him my, when he was kicking me out last year, I offered him my dialectical behavioral therapy book, which is what was taught to me when I was in the hospital. I was in the hospital at 13, for a milder suicide attempt. I took all my birth control. I thought that would do something. Didn't do anything. And I was just, yeah, no, they were just screaming at me the whole time, so I was just like self-harming because they were just screaming at me repeatedly when I was going through a mental health episode. They just kept screaming at me. And so, yeah, I ended up in the hospital, you know, and then I was in the hospital again at 15 for the more serious suicide attempt. And then I was in the hospital again last year because it got to the point where it was like my birthday. I had an amazing time with friends. So grateful for that experience. But my kiddo's birthday is the day after. And so I had gotten, you know, like a nice place again, 2-bedroom place, beautiful yard. And it's just like, I kept trying to tell them, like, I'll pay for you guys to come visit. I really, 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 really want my kiddo here. And just not an option. And so when it came down to like his birthday, I just like rent was due and everything, and I just couldn't find the strength to work or to keep going because I was just so messed up over everything. And then, yeah, I went to the hospital because I just wasn't okay. Because to me, it's like I do all these things or I have all these beautiful experiences, but I know he's up there in that situation that fucked me up. And it fucks with me. And they've made me believe that I'm the problem and that he's better off without me the entire time. And I know that logically to not be true, but sometimes when I'm at like my worst moments, it's like I really do start to feel like maybe that's like the goal. They just don't want me here. Like everybody just like I'd be better off, you know? And I deeply empathize with anybody who feels that way. I'm not gonna act on that. I'm not gonna do that. I need to be here for my kid. But in my moments of weakness where they're working against me to keep him from me and make me feel like I'm the problem, yeah, I break down. And it's not good. But in that hospital, you know, they had courses on dialectical behavioral therapy, which I'm already familiar with because I've had friends who struggle with similar things I do recommend it to me. And so, you know, I have my own DBT books and stuff like that. So when he was kicking me out and having a mental health episode, I tried to offer him the book, and he says it's witchcraft. And he doesn't want anything to do with it. But it's like, that's what you put me in therapy to learn these tools so I could manage my emotions. But when I bring to attention that you need assistance managing your emotions and I'm offering to provide support and resources, then I'm the witch. It's insane to me. It's such a paradox. Thank you, Chilios. I think we are just at the beginning of really making people healthy and understanding of these issues. I agree, Chilios. I was actually just talking with a psychiatrist in the cafe who moved from the East Coast to Colorado to be able to be a psychiatrist for medicines that he believed actually help people more than what we currently have. And so this is heavy for me. This is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, I've ever experienced in my life. But knowing what I know, meeting the people I've known, seeing those changes with my own eyes and my own soul, because they've happened within me, seeing these changes, I do feel so excited and empowered for the potential of what this could lead to. But like right now, it's just such a limbo period where, yeah, we have states' rights, and in the state where they're at, where I was born and raised, there are a lot more conservative ideologies about things like that, which is so unfortunate because, like, if you know anything about Minnesota, you know about, like, the policing system and the traumas of some of the communities, and that I don't think you're gonna give Philando Castile's kid some SSRIs to rectify what was done to their father. There's like a lot of healing that needs to be done that isn't just throwing medication or throwing money at a problem, you know? Like there's a lot of systemic things that we need to rework, and I do believe that plant medicine is one of them. Like maybe I honestly should reach out to the organization I met with in 2019. They're trying to decriminalize plant medicine in Minnesota, because to bring more attention and awareness to this case, because the fact that they're using that against me when that is like the thing that has helped me want to be on this earth and feel like I belong here is just so ironic and not fair. People do best we can is all. Knowledge is getting better, yet we as people only just started this acknowledgement of mental health. Yeah. Yep. My dad was one of those people. He was born in the 60s that, or I think maybe 50s. My mom, no, 60. I think 1960. But one of those people where it's like when I had anxiety or depression growing up, oh, you think you have anxiety? You don't know how hard it is. Like, mental health isn't real kind of thing. The world is better with open people like you, Miss Cassie. Thank you so much, Ira. I love you. You probably remind them of the things they did to mess up your childhood. For people like that, guilt is something you run away from. I know. And that's something, that is the theme I'm struggling with the most right now, is like, I have so much love and forgiveness and empathy and ability to help, right? And like passion and drive and just so much good energy to offer. But sometimes when it's like someone's hurting me, I need to address it. Like, hey, that really messed me up because it's taken me a long time to process and unpack and dissect. Like, okay, well, why do I think this way about myself? Why did I start self-harming? And I've been getting tattoos to like cover up all of the mistakes I made by taking out the negative way other people would treat me out on myself. So it's like been a long time coming, but it's like when those urges come up, it's like, yeah, I have to sit there and be like, why do I think I deserve pain? What went wrong to make me think that like this is the way I should handle things, the world's better off without me, those kinds of feelings? Where did they come from? Because they always come from somewhere. It's not just like, maybe he believes that I'm like demonically possessed or like a child of Satan or something like that. But in my perspective, with everything that I've learned, most of those feelings of like negative self-worth are from trauma. But it's like I have infinite capacity to forgive, but then it's like when people can't even like address, or they gaslight you and they're like, oh yeah, what are these new memories you're having? It's like, no, I remember that very clearly. And like even like when I was a kid, I was just, like just taking it in and just being like, this is how humans act. But then I would like know deep down, like, no, buddy, this is not right. This is not right. And maybe that's the autism or whatever. Like some people refer to people with autism as canaries in the coal mine. I knew from a very, very young age that the way that I was being treated was not healthy. And I was just told that I was the problem and I needed to act right and then I would maybe be treated better. But I wasn't even. Like the better I would act, it's like it just created this standard of like if I acted as anything less than that or was like vulnerable or not well mentally, then that would be like a cause for criticism, which ironically enough would worsen my mental health. It's like you don't see someone struggling and then just sit there and criticize them and expect that to be the thing they need. No, you help them. And especially when people like propagate the teachings of Jesus, I don't think Jesus sat there and condescended everyone about how they need to do better. I think he just helped heal them. I think he just like literally went in the pits and was like, "Oh yeah, no, we're gonna figure this shit out together, buddies." You know? I see you feel things deeper than most. It's called empathy. It's a sign of strength and understand. It's a strength of understanding. Life is hard. We're actually built to overcome this. You got to practice daily. Do push-ups every day. Yeah, I've been working out. Kellogg's been helping me work out every day. So got to stay here for more than just the kid. I think someone like you that has a solid grounding of themselves who did go through this trauma, you can help more be aware. Yeah. Thank you. What do you do daily to change or improve your own situation regardless of what they think or what from you? I mean, I create, I work out, I make connections within community. I have so many beautiful connections and things going for me. It's just like, it's hard to maintain them because this is such like an anchor in my heart. Like something needs to change. And it's almost like the more I make these connections, especially with people who are also interested in plant medicine, the more they use them against me. So it's like at certain points, I feel like I need to pull back, make a bunch of money, fight this case, and then like, then I can make these connections. Then I can continue the life I want to live because they're just using everything against me. Like the more that I like take actions towards improving my own life, they're just like, oh, see, look, she made friends with another person interested in plant medicine. Burn the witch. It's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Yes, you are a detector, not a problem. They may never understand it, yeah. So I just have to show the legal system, I guess. But yeah, it's just really difficult. It's really, really, really difficult. Well, Satan is the easy way to not take responsibility. It's a very effective coping and system to deflect guilt and trauma. Yeah, no, like he used to like put on horror movies for me when I was like 2, 3, 4 years old. Like I'd watch horror movies with them. They'd cover my eyes at the sex scenes, right? But like I'd watch people get chopped up and shit like that, like since a very young age. And so, and he was also super interested in the paranormal, and he now sees that as like demonic energy. But it's like, okay, now that you're so holy, maybe you could take accountability. Like you put horror movies on in front of your toddler. Maybe that contributed? Maybe? If you think it's so demonic, that is. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of things that contributed to my mental health, but none of them he has any responsibility for, of course. Like, one of the first things he said upon meeting my current partner, he went out of his way to bring him into the room. He would chain smoke cigarettes in my old bedroom. He would chain smoke cigarettes in my bedroom while I was in there growing up at 12 years old. And he brought my partner out there to sit my partner down and tell him. The first thing he tells him was, I did not rape her. I've never said that. I have never fucking said that. I have said all of the things that did happen, which were not okay, but I've never alleged that. But that's like the I guess worm he has in his brain. He's in like defense mode because he doesn't want me propagating like the worst case scenario, but I never have. And it's just such a, yeah, hyper fixation on the negativity, because I can get down with like the teachings of Jesus, God, Mary Magdalene, you know, but it's such a broad thing, but the way he talks about it and the way he focuses on it is like the most negative aspects. Like you're gonna burn in the pits of hell. And I don't think I'm gonna burn in the pits of hell. I think I'm in line with what God would want me to be doing in this world. I think I'm in line with the teachings of Jesus. You know, for a long time rejected them because of the dogmatic way they were indoctrinated into me, based with like fear and punishment and a rejection of love and the feminine. Like I was screamed at for telling someone I love them. That's not godly to do to a child, like, you know. I'm glad it's paying off. I always find something of value or something to admire whenever I come across you. I do appreciate who you are, Cassie. Oh, thank you so much, Shelios. I love you. I am at the lowest point in my life from this whole process. Or, well, not the lowest, the most challenging, because I'm still doing well in every other regard. This is just so challenging that it's like crippling me. But I know that when I get through this, that it will be so, like, just exponential growth. Like, I will be able to do the things that I want to do. I will not be like tied down to this standard of who they're saying I am when they don't even know me. Honestly, like, you guys probably know me more than they do, because anytime I start to bring up these conversations or my perspective or my philosophy, not even like bringing up how they hurt me, but just in general, just talking about life, they just shut me down. They have it seemingly like collected everything I've said over the years to use as ammunition to discredit me. But so much of what I've said, it's not like, I'm not on here telling people to do drugs or do bad things. You know, like, I don't think I've ever said like, hey, you should go do this substance or whatever. Like, you know, like, I've talked about like the benefits of like lion's mane mushroom or the different uses for catnip, things like that. But it's not like I'm like, oh yeah, everybody go do illicit substances. Like, it's not what I do here. That lady that was reading the Bible to people that were using religion to attack people, they tried to get her fired. Wow.
one of the things that pisses my dad off the most to hear is judge not lest ye be judged. So, that's not what that means. Okay. Try not to let those thoughts come. Don't listen to them. Always try to forgive yourself when those wrong thoughts come. Remember, you're good from within, and you're right of Jesus, in my opinion. He came to take sin, not to condemn them. Yeah. I think you have a good plan. Keep trying to raise funds in the ways you're able to. Thank you so much, Richard. I'm pretty close to monetization on here too, so I've been pulling back from streaming because of all this going on, but I'm just so tired of getting stabbed in the back by people I should be able to trust. If it bothers them that I'm talking about it, then don't treat me like that. Don't be like, you know, like that toxic, like back and forth of like, I'm leaving, I'm kicking you out, blah, blah, blah. It's like, we need to stop doing that. We need to stop doing that. It's like, you don't have to live with people if you don't want to, but like, just the dynamic of purposefully disturbing someone's stability and then pointing at them like, look how unstable you are. Look how fucked up you are. I never did anything wrong. I'm the good one. You're the bad one. That type of shit. Stop. Fucking stop. So fucked up. Look, she's taking medication to help with mental health and going to therapy, so there isn't something wrong. Look, she's talking about her mental health to other people on the internet who also struggle with mental health. Burn the witch! Fucking crazy. I think they might actually, like, on my channels, unfortunately, the crying videos kind of went viral, unfortunately. But they're like, look, she's crying on the internet again. Fuck. Bye, Richard. Take care. Sorry, I could listen to you talk for hours. I see so many make money for that skill. You sound like a great person to me. If God is real, you do not need to prove yourself to him. Thank you. Hi, John. Ice cream. It's funny, the current form of religion is there is evidence that the big G did have a wife. Oh. They stopped worshipping her for political and money reasons. Really? Pay bills, rent, true fair, lifetime. You need to proceed like they ate the enemy, be open to forgiveness, but they will weaponize your love against you, yeah? Nah, you're brilliant for being open. Thank you, Ira. God, I miss my kiddo. He's so cool, bro. I love hanging out with him. I don't post him online because, like, I want him to be able to make that choice. But he is such a freaking awesome individual. I love him so much. It is so painful, though, to try and parent somebody through video chat. And also, most of the times that I call, if it's like 5 p.m., they're like, oh no, sorry, he's already asleep. It's like any excuse they can. It sucks. Speaking of which, I'm gonna try and give them a call back because it didn't work earlier. That's kind of why I got on here in a little bit of an emotional state. It's because, like, they try and act like they're not keeping him from me, but yet I can't, like, video chat with him. I can't visit him. And also, when I do video chat, it just, like, makes me realize, like, no, you guys should be the one video chatting me, you know, like, as a parent. Like, it's not right. Like, I haven't done anything. I've never harmed my kid. I've never done substances around my kid. It's not how it is. It's crazy. Peas in a pod. My little pea pod. I used to call him Baby Bean. To the internet, he's known as Dragon Slayer. I don't know if he wants to slay dragons, though. I can revisit that when I refer to him. It's just messed up, though. Yeah. It's just real messed up. But thank you guys for listening and caring. Some of the people who came in at the beginning were being assholes, but... Meth? Are you on meth right now? It's like, so disgusting to me how when I am an emotional person. I'm like Cancer moon, Cancer rising, whatever. It's so disturbing that so many people need a safe place to express emotion, but then so many people will treat the expression of emotion as a weakness or something to like use against someone. Like everyone needs to express emotions at some point, and like so many people let their vulnerability calcify into anger, and it's just hurting everyone, you know? But yeah, I'm gonna head out. I love you guys. Thank you for caring. I'll have some more lighthearted streams soon. I'm gonna make a GoFundMe. I'm trying to figure out if I can get pro bono help, but probably not. That's it. That's the limbo I'm in. It's like I make too much, right? Like I make too much for state insurance, most kind of like pro bono things, but not enough money to be like, you know, paying out of pocket for everything, for therapy, for kiddos supplies and everything. So it's like, but I'm getting it together, and it's like I'm doing it by myself. I am a single mother. Like I have people I love and care about, but like as far as like their father, they're not providing financially, you know, like, and he's going through his own things, and I like, you know, respect wherever he needs to be in his journey that feels right for him. But like I'm the breadwinner. I've always, and that's what really pisses me off about people who are like, women are gold diggers. I have been the breadwinner my entire life. I have been working since I was a toddler in my parents' foster care home, in my grandmother's foster care home, providing meals for people. I'm doing it all, okay? Like, and I just sometimes need a little bit of support. And that's okay. And that's not something to demonize me for. That's not something to make me feel bad about. I don't want to go through the system and like, you know, demand child support. I just need like just people to give a fuck and not just point at me and look how bad you are. But it's like I'm doing everything that I can be stable and support myself and the people around me. So I just feel sometimes unappreciated. But then I come online and so many of you guys are so sweet and so kind to me, and I so deeply, greatly, infinitely appreciate that. So thank you for all of the good energy you guys give me. And I just want you guys to remember your power and the energy you put out there in the world. Like it has huge, tremendous impact on my life and on others. So you guys have the magic at your fingertips. You really do. We all do, right? And I just, yeah, just want to bring awareness to that as like kind of a closing thing, because I know I talked a lot about my life and my personal things, but we have so much power to impact each other, and so many people are just walking blindly, not realizing their impact on each other. I just show tremendous gratitude for you guys using the impact you have on other human beings to help lift me up during a time where I'm feeling really struggling. So I really appreciate you guys for that. And I love you all. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And I might show back up later. Hopefully I won't be crying. But yeah. I love you guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye.